Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today the date is August 7th. The time is 10:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Mohammed Faisal. I'm one of the examiners at Nafi for the oral examination. We have today a student of level 6. He will be going through his Diploma in Artificial Intelligence Operations exam, as you call level 6. The topic is developing a distributed data lake with Delta Lake, Apache Iceberg, and AWS Glue for real-time analytics in the retail sector. The student name is Zayan Ahmed, right?
Yes.
Zayan Ahmed. Okay. You did your level 3 exam as well, right?
Yeah.
When was that?
Around, I guess, a year ago.
A year
Yeah.
ago. And now, mashallah, going for this. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a comprehensive topic. These are some of the new topics that I created recently. So the
Mm-hmm.
topic is data lake house architecture, a very big thing. Uh, Even within our company, we have a data lake architecture. The project is known as Al Basir. Today, there were some very good findings that we were able to. I had to push my team to get the findings out, and I was able to know what the problem is. So data lake is one of the fundamental requirements for any organization because nowadays everything is creating a lot of data, log
Absolutely.
traces, logs, and whatever, right? So uh, this is a real topic that you will end up seeing within the organizations. So the lake house architecture you have to explain, um, how to implement Delta Lake or Apache Iceberg tables on S3 with transactional capabilities, and then it covers some other areas. Security and governance will be needs to be covered as well. This is one of the key areas because we found out that there are certain containers that we are providing. Al Nafi Al Razak Labs. Have you started doing Al Razak Labs? Right.
No, not yet. I've done for level 3.
Level 3. Okay. So level 6 has a lot of labs, right? So you have to do those labs. In the labs, we have covered many things. Um, And this is one of going to be the requirements for you to complete the labs because you have to complete part one and then part two as well, right? In the part
Mm-hmm.
two, we cover many, many things. And one of the key things is like we saw that people were creating containers. And within the containers, we saw that there were some ghost containers. Ghost containers means like they, on a daily basis, 40, 50 cloud machines were running and no one knows who has executed these machines. So A, it's a waste of resource. B, it's costing us money. And C, it creates problems for other users because sometimes we haven't been able to see that if it impacts the real user, right, per se, but it is impacting us as an organization because that means like, an organization is bleeding money from a resource that we are not even using, right? So this all of this we were able to capture this through artificial intelligence through our data lake. So data lake is the fundamental requirement in any organization, right? Analytics enablement, this is very important. This talks about Amazon QuickSight and open source BI tools. We use all the tools that we use are all open source. Open telemetry, uh, Prometheus, Grafana, there are so many other things that we use, and our own in-house build tools as well, right? Industry applications applicable to retail and e-commerce enterprises requiring unified analytics platforms across stores, warehouses, and online channels. This topic is not only related to retail sector. You were given a perspective of the retail sector, but it is applicable in every organization, right? Fraud,
Yes.
abuse, compliance issues, risk issues, everything is captured through data lake. So this is a very important topic. Open source and cloud native tools, it talks about data lake, Apache Iceberg, AWS Glue, Lake Formation, Kinesis, amazing solution, very expensive. We use our own solutions, right? Athena, EMR, QuickSight, etc., etc. You will be given minimum 15, maximum up to 20 minutes to 25 minutes to present your topic, followed by
Okay.
the Q&A. The Q&A is where we will go take a deeper dive into the topic. The topic is level 6. So we have to take a deeper dive, right? Inshallah. Okay, Bismillah. So are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm ready.
You may share your screen.
Yes.
Let me start the timer.
Okay, let me start the timer.
Share the screen where I can see your presentation. Yes. Is that the first page?
No, this is the first page.
Okay.
Okay, is my screen visible?
Yes, it is. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You may start now.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Zayan Ahmed, and today I'm going to present you on the topic of developing a distributed data lakehouse with Delta Lake, Apache Iceberg, and AWS Glue. And we will focus on the main perspective from real-time analytics in terms of retail sector. So, okay, so just to understand our data lake house, we need to first get started with data lake because organizations were first using data lake simply, and once they saw the high returns in data lake house, that's when we transitioned towards a more modern approach or a hybrid approach between data lake and data warehouse, which is data lake house, our topic today. So data lake stands on three main components. First being central storage for raw data. So it's just like a dump room where we dump all our data of an organization. These could be your logs, your documents, your older databases, you name it. Number two, it's schema on read. So this is a key component. Schema on read basically means that we don't actually transform or filter our data while we are putting it, but when we need to fetch our data, use it, we apply some kinds of filtering or ETLs upon reading our data, or you can call it simple structuring. Number three, because we have an idea where we are dumping like terabytes or petabytes of data, we want the storage to be cheap and yet scalable, right? Because if it's not cheap, obviously it doesn't make sense for an organization to use it. Number two, scalable, because we are implementing and uploading terabytes of data, we want some service which scales automatically and we don't have to worry about that aspect, which is ideally Amazon S3 in terms of AWS cloud. So these are the main three pillars, and now I'll just compare the main three pillars or main 3 points with the lake house. What are the differences and how it evolved? Number one, data lake, as we know, store raw data, but data lake house stores the same data after some schema enforcement or ETLs. So we filter our data and then we store it. This is a it's a key differentiation. Obviously, it has so much considerations. We will talk about them also. Number two, schema is on read. So in data lakehouse, we have schema on write. As we are writing our data, we are applying ETLs right away, not waiting for the time when we fetch our data. And it perfectly ties into the third point where obviously data lake has to apply some kind of processing or transformation when we are reading data. So it's a bit more slower than data lakehouse because we have our data already ready for SQL based queries. We can get it right away like that. So these are the main three differentiations. And in this slide, I will just walk you through the whole architecture of a sample AWS Amazon Lakehouse, sorry, data lakehouse. And here, the majority of the times when we implement a data lakehouse is not just like you started your organization and from the first day you're implementing it, right? Obviously. So for that reason, we have two types of data sources, one being legacy data and one being real-time data. So legacy data is any data your organization has saved so far until your time of implementing your lakehouse solution, right? These could be your older documents, older logs, archive logs, your old databases, S3 buckets, anything, right? Obviously, the data which you want in your lakehouse. And real-time data is data that's coming in all the time. These could be your ECS clusters, EKS clusters, simple EC2 machines, cloud front distributions, RDS databases, or your Lambda functions, you name it. So these are two types of data sources commonly being used in our lakehouses. And for legacy data, we use batch ETL because it's a just one-time job. We don't need to run it again and again. So for that, we use Glue batch ETL. While for real time, we use services like Kinesis Data Stream or Kinesis Data Firehose, depending on our situation. It just funnels all our data into an S3 bronze zone. So here We don't have like filtered our data to the extent where we can use it, but it's still some kind of unusable capacity. But from S3 bronze zone to S3 gold zone, this is where like the real magic happens, right? Because here we apply the real ETL jobs, or you can these are the stream jobs, glue stream jobs, right? And as data comes in the S3 bronze zone, it goes through this stream, the ETL stream, and goes into an S3 gold zone, which is the actual data lake house, you can call. And at the same time, we apply these iceberg tables on S3. So what these are, Apache Iceberg, we have a dedicated slide for that. But in terms of just summary, these you can call as metadata of metadata, or in simple terms, just like an index page of your novel, right? So 1,000 pages novel has a single index page where it becomes so easy. Rather than scanning the whole data, we just get where we want using this index, right? And these index files are stored within the S3, but they are referred from a service called AWS Glue Data Catalog, and it's just like a catalog for storing our index files, or sorry, the metadata files. And this S3 gold zone bucket, this is where our lakehouse is, right? And this is all the filtered data that's coming in like crazy, right? So here we apply different business intelligence tools like Tableau, Power BI, or Qlik, and at the same time we have AWS native options for using our data. These are so many options, but the main four are here. AWS Athena, which is a service for running SQL queries on object storage, being S3 bucket, and AWS EMR. This is for running big data queries or big data tasks, where we can where it automatically handles the compute aspect also, so that's why it's written compute here. And AWS QuickSight is just like a magical globe where you can see all your data at once in any form you want. These could be graphs, these could be pie charts. Anyway, AWS Lake Formation, we have a dedicated slide for that, but it's a whole wrapper around this whole workflow where we manage, the security and IAM aspect. We have a different slide for that. Okay, so in this slide, I've just divided the whole workflow in simple ETL. Extract being where we extract our data. Transform is where obviously the real stuff or real magic happens. And load is where we use our data, right? So it's just a quick slide. And okay, so now I'll explain the four main components or four main reasons why we implement Iceberg or Delta Lake on our S3 buckets, right? What they do and how they do it. Number one, they provide us with the capability to run SQL queries on our data lakes, right? Because S3 is not a database server. It's not just like RDS, obviously. So for running SQL queries, we need some kind of structure or intermediary, which is Iceberg or Delta Lake. And how they do it, the main ETLs we are talking about all this time are just transforming our data into open columnar formats, like Parquet, right? So these formats just organize the data in table form so that we can run SQL queries on that, right? Just let me, yeah. So they enable features like asset transactions, time machines, etc. Yes, asset transactions is a key concept for data lakehouses. We have another slide for that. And the time machine, obviously, as it sounds, we can transition to any time of our data state. Like just you can say if your data got corrupted or you want your previous data, you can just transition like 10 minutes back. So how it's happening in the back is we maintain a transactional log. We maintain a record of our all the transactions that we done in a form of timeline or history, right, in our metadata files. Then number three, they allow schema evolution, which was nearly impossible for big databases, the traditional databases, because they are structured highly. And if you are using a SQL database, it's really not an option, by the way. While NoSQL is a different game, but here we have it capable. We have that capability using snapshots to represent the state of the table over time. So you have snapshot for every time your data changed, right? So it could be simple data changes or even schema evolution as we are talking, right? Number four, we can run SQL analytics on top of object storage, being S3, using engines like Athena. So this is a key concept. Rather than just running SQL queries on simply SQL databases. Instead, we are using object storage, which is far more cheaper and makes sense, right? So that's a key concept. And okay, so now ACID transactions. What are transactions? In our data lakehouses, rather than running simple queries or jobs like we do in traditional databases, we run transactions. Transactions are a group of jobs, you can say, or a full on task, right? These could consist of many jobs or many different tasks, right? So in lakehouses, we refer to a group of jobs or tasks that achieve a specific result as a transaction, right? And ACID basically breaks down to atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. Atomicity is all about that our data is all or nothing, which basically means it's updated, your transaction is successful, or it failed. It's binary. Let's say you are updating your data and halfway through you get an error for some reason, let's say, but you don't want your data to be in a corrupted state, right? So lakehouses automatically takes care of that using Apache Iceberg or Delta Lake, and it rollbacks to the last previous valid state, right? Consistency, it automatically ties into that. It takes care of your data in being a consistent state. You cannot update your complete row or column where you are using numbers with a, let's say, integer, or sorry, using an integer with a string, right? So it takes care of that. Isolation obviously means that we don't want multiple entities or multiple users using the same data to be interfered. Let me give you an example. Let's say if a user is reading a data, and at the same time another user from another API or somewhere is rewriting or updating the same data. So how it plays is that the user reading our data would read from a latest valid snapshot, and the user that's writing our data would be creating a new snapshot, right? So until he has written that data, no one can read that because it's a new snapshot in creation, right? Durability. Durability, as the name suggests, it means that our data is taken care of. We cannot lose it because we are using services like S3, which are globally distributed data stores, like 99.99 of SA availability. So there's no way you can lose your data until you have made a big mistake, right? Okay, so now we'll talk about security and IAM aspect of our data lakehouse, and that's managed all from our lake formation service. What it does and how it does, let's talk. It is a centralized data access for managing all our S3 all our lake formation policies and user access. So how we do that? Rather than using S3 policies, which are good by the way, but not as granular or not as powerful as lake formation. So we use lake formation policies rather than directly using S3 policies. Number two, we can even control row level, column level, or table level access for objects in our S3. This is awesome because it is so granular that you can even define row level access for a single object in your S3. Like it's not even possible for S3, or if we try to do that, sorry, S3 policies, or if we try to do that, it would be so complex because normally in lake houses you have multiple S3 buckets. So it doesn't make sense to decentralize our security aspect because it's like common sense, right? Number three, AWS Glue data catalog for unified metadata plus access control. So it really gets the head of snake here because rather than defining access controls for all our petabytes of data, we just refer to our index files or metadata files, and we just say this user has access to these folders or these objects, right? Just like you can say you define on a novel index that you are only allowed to read up till chapter 3, rather than going all the pages and defining like you can read this. I hope it makes sense, right? Number four, enables auditing for access using CloudTrail. So CloudTrail is an awesome service, which obviously is a service regarding security, and it audits our whole AWS infrastructure, right? So it needs a central place from where it can, scan everything. So in terms of Lakehouse, Lake Formation is a central place where we manage all our access. So CloudTrail really helps us there, and we can also define lake formation tags to our data to then refer to these tags as when defining policies. So let's say you give your financial data a tag like department equal to finance, and you just say give this user access to where data has the lf tag department is equal to finance, right? So it makes sense. And this is our last slide. So now I'll just compare real-time versus batch architecture. What are the trade-offs and what's the hybrid real approach? Real-time is lower in latency, obviously, because it's real-time and data comes in live streams, right? While batch is it's minutes to hours, obviously depending on our scheduling. And real time is a bit more complex because we are, rather than using simple glue batch jobs, we are running Kinesis data streams, glue stream jobs, Kinesis data fire hose. And while in batch, we have simple like glue batch jobs, it's a lot more simpler. Real time is a bit more costly because of active infra it takes to keep running our streaming jobs. While for batch we have so much lower cost compared to it because we have burstable schedule burst compute, right? We don't need our infra 100% up all the time. Okay, so in real time, we are normally handling small continuous incoming data, while in batch we have large chunks of data, or you can refer to the legacy data as I gave you an example, could be an example right here. And in real time, it's a bit more harder if there are any issues because it's just like a highway where there's a sudden blockage and traffic is coming in continuously, right? It makes so much headache to solve those kind of issues. But for batch, it's a bit more easier because we can just reschedule the next run and first fix the current issue we are facing, right? But in real time, what happens is in real world, we transit from batch to real time once we are implementing our data lakehouses. Because if your organization, let's say, is operating from the last 10 years, right? You have some data, not some, could be petabytes of data. So for that, you first start with batch architecture to get it right in your data lakehouse. And once that's done, then you will transition to a real-time approach. So in real world, that's a more common use case that makes sense, right? So this was all from my side, and I hope you liked it.
Okay, that was a good presentation. Let's jump into the Q&A. I really would like to ask you some of the questions I have.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So what are the key differences between schema on read and schema on write, as explained in your presentation,
Okay.
in the
So
context of data
schema,
lakes?
yeah. So schema on write is where we are, as we are writing our data in Lakehouse, we are, just filtering and applying ETLs right away instead of waiting for the time when we fetch our data. While on schema on read is where we first just dump our data in the raw form without any formatting, and once it's there, when we are using our data for any analytics or stuff, only then we apply the schema right there. So that's the key difference.
Did you went to Lahore Grammar School?
Yes, sir.
You did your O levels from there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was looking at your O level scores as well. We'll
Yeah.
discuss that in the end, inshallah. Okay. Okay. Explain the role of AWS Glue in both batch and stream processing based on the workflow.
Okay. So Glue is a ETL service, and in terms of batch architecture, we use Glue batch jobs, which are just scheduled runs for our ETL transformations. While for streaming or real-time architecture, we use Glue stream jobs, which are just like real-time streaming ETLs. As data comes in, they transform it.
When you were doing this topic, did you reviewed like what does Netflix do with their data? What does like other organizations do with their data? Did you were you doing some
Yeah,
kind of
overall,
research?
but Overall, but not in terms of a specific organization like Netflix.
So what kind of retail, from a retail perspective, what sectors were you looking at?
I was looking at sales and marketing, and stock management, logistics, and user personalization. I think it would come in marketing also. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. There's a company known as Plantier. Do you know anything about that company?
No.
We're going to talk about that at the very end, right? Okay.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, so what is the role of the AWS Lake Formation as per your
Yeah.
presentation,
Mhm.
slides? What
Yeah.
role does it play?
Yeah. So it's a data access management for our data in lake formation. Sorry, lake house. We manage all our policies and defining access level to our data for specific users or entities. It integrates with AWS IAM. We can define LF tags and all that.
Okay. Uh, Describe to me any two advantages of using open table formats like Data Lake or Apache Iceberg in the Lakehouse model.
Yeah, number one, without any doubt, is asset transactions, because that's a key concept or why we start with these third-party solutions. Number two being their ability to cater to the snapshotting. We can just transition to any time of our data state we want. I think these are the two main
Okay,
biggest.
so what does asset transaction really means?
So atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. It's just a framework or a set of thought where we are accessing our data in a particular way so that it's consistent all the time. It's so we don't lose our data in a corrupted state. It's usable actually because of these four main components. If you would say, I can explain each one in detail more.
Can NoSQL database be asset compliant?
Yeah, but it would be restricted to only data in a single form, like JSON or NoSQL data type. Because if we have some documents or something else, it would need to be first, break down into open columnar formats.
Okay. All right. So let's jump on the some of the tougher questions now. Um, how do asset transactions benefit multi-user real-time analytics in a retail lakehouse environment?
Yeah. So number one being multi analytics. So it provides us with the capability to read and write our data at the same time. As the data is coming, we can provide analytics on our data as it comes right in. So that's one thing. And can you repeat the question again?
I mean, how can you use asset transactions? How can asset transactions benefit multi-user real-time analytics?
Okay. So multi-users need some isolation. Like we don't want users to be affected from each other. So if a user is reading data or let's say performing analytics, and other users are writing the same data, they are when they're writing the data, it's an creating another snapshot, right? Instead of just updating the same one. And once that snapshot is validated, only then our user who's reading our data would have access to that. So it basically breaks into different sessions or snapshots as called. Every snapshot is a different session, so called.
Okay. So it's a case study, right? Um, a large retail chain faces intermittent failures, right? In their glue stream jobs.
Okay.
Looking at the diagram, which causes stale data in their gold zone. So there are different zones, bronze zone, gold zone, right?
Yeah.
Different, right?
Yep.
How do you propose a fault tolerant recovery approach using iceberg and lake formation?
Okay. So iceberg and lake formation. Okay, so if first we'll need to diagnose the reason for the failure in our ETL, whether it's some unhandled, data types, or whether it's something related to our allocation of resources. And in terms of lake formation, we can make sure like the permissions are in place from the security aspect, and from the Apache Iceberg, we'll try to get to know how are we managing the data that's causing the failure in terms of open columnar formats.
So give me 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
So you're asked to, you go for a job interview and you're asked to design a lake formation tagged based policies
Hmm.
to enforce that only regional managers can access sales data. You said you did some research on sales data, marketing data stuff, right? So you are asked like, Zayan, we need something like you need to design a lake formation which is based on tags to enforce regional managers can access the sales data from their own regions. So for northwest region, only the northwestern managers can access. From the south region, from the north, east, west. You see, because you need to
Yeah,
divide and have isolation, right? How do you
right.
implement this thing?
Okay, so for first of all, for LF tags, we will first divide our data into different sectors. Once we have the sales data, then we'll in lake formation, we will define different policies for our user base, for our managers or whoever needs to access it, and at what level are they able to update it or just get it, right? Okay, and in terms of the geographic rules, we'll use lake formation policies with our coupled with our any service or any structure we have for the networking aspect. If it's like Route 53, we have policies there in within Route 53 for that. So
What do you
that's
use
how
Route
we
53
will
for? Or do we use
for
Route?
our for our DNS configurations and routing of our traffic.
Good job, yeah. Like, this is very good. Can you
Yes,
work in our data lake environment? Are you up for
no,
it?
I never.
Do you
Yeah,
know
obviously,
SQL? Do
yeah,
you
I
know
would
SQL,
love that.
MySQL, everything?
Yeah, in fact, I'm like currently working as a DevOps engineer.
Oh yeah, you're already
Like,
working, Marshall, as a DevOps engineer. Okay, we're going to talk
yeah,
about.
I've just, yeah, absolutely.
We're looking for a data lake guy.
Oh, okay.
So the data lake architect is looking for a data lake person to work with him.
Hmm.
Things are getting out of hand, and
Okay, let's talk on that also.
data is getting bigger and bigger, right? So, all right. So, two questions remaining. So, like like Black Friday sales, right?
Yeah, yeah.
What does it mean, Black Friday sales?
In terms of Western culture, it's a sale or a vacation, so called,
Yes,
and it basically focuses on the sales or marketing
exactly.
aspect more than
So
tradition.
during
Yeah.
the Black Friday sales, in US there's a Black Friday sales. In China, it's a single day event. I don't know what they call it, the
Hmm.
single day sale. All the
Hmm.
singles they go and do their shopping. Uh,
Yeah.
in uh, I believe in UK they call it the Boxing Day sales, right? Even though they go out for the hunt, killing these
Hmm.
foxes, they call it the Boxing Day. So every culture, every country has their own days of shopping spree, as they call it, right?
Yeah.
So during a Black Friday sale, your lakehouse solution must process
Hmm.
customer activity in sub-second latency. This is an
Okay.
interview question, right? I've asked this question many times during my interviews, right?
Hmm.
What changes would you make to the architecture that I see in your diagram?
Okay. So first of all, we go with allocation of resources. If you're, let's say, using Kinesis streams, we'd implement sharding in terms of, dynamic sharding. It
Mhm.
would automatically adjust to the traffic coming in. We don't have some limit of, you can just process these many shards or etc. And then at the receiving end of, let's say, our ETL job, in terms of AWS Glue, we will also implement dynamic allocation of our or dynamic scaling. So this is the main, and for S3, it automatically scales. We have I don't remember the exact name, but uh, once we enable an option in S3, it basically enhances the capability of uploading our data. But I have skipped that name, but it basically what it does is the data goes through multiple channels from AWS backbone, and it just gets uploaded from multiple channels, and then it's sorted in order. So these are the three main things I will approach.
What about caching? What would you do in the caching for the caching purpose? What would you do?
Okay, so caching would mainly come in the reading aspect of our data or using it. So for that, we'll use Elastic Cache or Redis Cache or simple like custom solutions, third-party solutions. But Elastic Cache, I guess, would be the one.
We use Elastic Cache,
Oh,
um,
awesome.
and the bill was reaching to $3,000 per month. So we had to buy reserve instance for the Elastic. So they provide reserving the service.
Yeah,
We were able to
yeah,
reduce the cost by 80%. So Amazon said if you're using it too much, if you buy the service, sign a contract for 3 years, for 1 year, is 80%. If you sign it for 3 years, it's 90% off.
right, right.
So
Like the biggest bill I have seen for AWS is like $600,000 per month.
well,
So
this is for all the services, right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it
All the
goes in
services.
millions very fast.
Yeah,
This is just for one service. I mean, if you look into all the other things, then yes, we
yeah,
are
yeah.
saving
Absolutely.
money by utilizing uh, Kubernetes for provisioning our EC2 instances and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm,
The
mm-hmm.
compute, but for database and for other things, I mean, it's too much. I mean,
Yeah, in terms of AWS, like data management services are too expensive,
yeah,
especially RDS being the common one.
RDS is cheaper for us. The IDS bill is coming out to be around, I don't know, 3,000, $4,000, something like that, right? So
Yeah,
um, we are getting the savings, but still, the combined bill goes way above. And it grows very fast. The most expensive is the CDN, content delivery.
yeah, yeah,
That's the most expensive. The more people use our portal, the expensive it becomes. So we are trying to now put caps and limits on parallel logins, multi logins, right? Because it's
yeah.
getting out of control. Anyway, so okay, that's good, mashallah. So, you know, data engineers, they earn a lot of money. In Saudi Arabia, you can earn 20,000 Saudi Riyal per month, right? Which
Hmm.
comes out to be, if I have to do some math, 20,000 divided by 3.75, it comes out to $5,333, per month. So annually you get 64,000. It's a good salary, 20,000 there.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, you can reach up to 30,000 as well. So that's like 30,000 as well, right? 3.75 goes out to $8,000. So I've seen some very good packages being offered, right? Uh,
right.
in the West, the salary goes above 100,000, $200,000 per annum. Obviously,
Yeah,
for
exactly.
taxes in Saudi Arabia, there is no income tax. In the West, the taxes are very high. As soon as you earn um, a five-figure salary, then a six-figure salary, then they start putting in caps on you, right? And the
Hmm.
tax bracket goes up. Um, so, as a data engineer, how would you implement change data capture (CDC) using Apache Iceberg in the given architecture that you have to track updates from stored inventory systems?
Okay. So for that, I would use DMS service in between, and it basically would help us, capture the changes as it comes for our data. And using that, then we can obviously use Apache Iceberg's native features for handling our CDC. So DMS will be between the transitions of. So change data capture basically means that we only capture data that's being updated instead of getting all the data loaded in our systems
So, how do you identify the changes are happening? How do you identify?
using DMS, database migration service.
What about using snapshot IDs to identify changes?
Yeah, but it's not that real time because we need to, implement some kind of scheduling or something.
And what about metadata? How do you identify those?
As our data is coming in, Apache automatically, gets it metadata after ETL, obviously, in check, and it updates it continuously.
And uh, how do you see the materialized views in Athena? Like, what do you do if you have to use Athena?
So Athena is simply we can run SQL queries on our data and get any outputs we want, and we can also store those outputs in other S3 buckets or somewhere else we want.
Okay, your exam is over. I'm just going to compile the results.
Okay.
How was your exam?
Sorry.
How was your exam?
Yeah, it was awesome. I lagged a bit last time in level 3, so I tried to coop up
How
this
much did you
time.
score in level 3?
I guess it was 71 or 72%. Wasn't good.
That was last year.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you,
roughly.
okay, then you found a job.
Yeah, as I was giving the level 3 exam, I guess in that week or the next week, I found the job.
Okay, and you're working as what?
DevOps engineer. And in fact, yesterday I got a new job, and now I'm transitioning to the new job. Yeah,
What?
after
Mashallah. So you
after
guys are changing the
one
jobs. You guys are, mashallah,
yeah
changing the jobs. Mashallah.
after around 10 months of working in a startup, and now I'm transitioning to a medium-sized business. They're UK based, and yeah, the interview went good last day or 2 days prior.
Okay, mashallah, mashallah. That's good. That's good, mashallah. Yes.
So it was me and another candidate being final. He was like mature than me. He had 5 to 6 years of experience. He told me the age to be 35 years, but ultimately I went ahead and I got the job. So at the same time, I'm also doing freelancing. I have like 4 contracts on Upwork, and there's the last contract I've got, and it's still going on. Is a DevOps engineer from US. She is just like starting out. She haven't done any internship. It's her first job at a company for pet care, Chewy.com. It's like $15 billion company, and I also do tasks for her. I have like
So she
daily
is working
calls
in
with
another
her.
company, so she's paying you to do her job.
No, not exactly. Like she hired me for a teacher, and I also help her with her tasks if she has something to understand. It's
Okay,
like that.
okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
a big company, $15 billion company. So there are so many tasks that I'm also
Okay,
learning
so
from
let
her.
me ask you something. Let me ask you something. You went to Lahore Grammar School. You did
Yep.
your O levels. What
Yes.
is the fee of Lahore Grammar School?
Uh, Sorry, can you repeat?
What is the fee that you pay on a monthly basis for Lahore Grammar School?
I don't remember. I guess it's 18, 20K per month.
20,000 rupees per month, something like that?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly. But
The
it's
Lahore
been
Grammar
quite.
School. No, there's a admission fee of 50,000 rupees. Then there's a security deposit of 90,000, 40,000 rupees. Then there's a registration fee of
This would be
8.
the main branch. I went to a landmark.
Okay. And then on a monthly basis, you pay 62,640 rupees per month.
Yeah, not for me. It was just a landmark for me. It wasn't the main
Oh, so
branch.
Landmark. Landmark is another school which is affiliated to LGS.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay. So the fee might be lower, I guess. Not
Yeah, a
62,000, but
lot.
40,000, 30,000, whatever, right? Okay. Okay, so I have some good news for you, mashallah. You, in your presentation, you secured uh, 96%, mashallah, 24 out of 25.
Always.
Yes, the
That's
presentation is good.
awesome.
It covers everything, mashallah. In the Q&A,
Mhm.
you secured, uh, hold on. 12, yes, 10, yes. In the Q&A, you secured 88% out of
Okay.
25. Okay. So 22 out
Mm-hmm.
of 25. So it's 88%. Okay. I think there's a point 0.5. I have to check because there are point marks. So it might be 23 something. I don't know. I need to check, right? I will check that
Okay.
part on my side, inshallah. But altogether, if I do 96 plus, 88 and divide that, so you secured 92%. That's a
Okay.
that's
That's
a
good.
mashallah, that's a mashallah distinction.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome.
So this is good, mashallah. I don't know. Look, every student is unique. They have to go through all the things.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is a very, very good score, mashallah. Here's my recommendation for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how much money did you invest it in Nafe so far in doing DCCS
So
and
far,
then doing AI ops? How much money did you spend? I want to know your ROI, return on investment.
yeah, I guess I got a scholarship from your side. You give me a discount. So I got like 6 to 7 lakhs from my side invested.
Okay. So altogether 6 to 7 lakhs, right?
Yeah, roughly.
Examination fee and everything, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So that comes out. And how much? And that this is over how many years? Of level two,
Like
level
2 years.
2 years, 2 years time, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So over 2 years,
I
this is
got my job in like after 1 year.
so you got your job, and how much money did you started earning?
My first package was in rupees like 200,000.
MashaAllah. So you have been working there for how long?
Almost it's 11th or 10th month.
So you've already earned 2 million rupees.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah.
So you invested 600 to 700,000. If we do on average 650,000 rupees, तुमने 6.5 लाख रुपए लगाए. Yeah, that's what you
Yep.
invested. और तुम 20 लाख रुपए कमा चुके हो.
Yeah. They pay in dollars. I'm telling you in rupees.
Oh, they are paying you in dollars. Okay, okay. अच्छा,
Yeah.
mashallah, good. Uh, so you have already earned 3.07% on top, right? तुम 3 times पहले ही कमा चुके हो. So that was your ROI. And that was your
Yeah.
immediate ROI that you were able to get the money back that you invested within 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
3 months
Like
after.
I have told people in my circle for now. Feel like I guess
No, I'm asking
for
you
now it.
something. So I'm going to tell you something, inshallah.
Yeah.
Don't,
Yeah.
I'm not asking you for any of those things. I'm just wanted to
Mhm.
see what you have done, mashallah.
No, no. I was just telling like I have told already 15 plus students about Al-Naf and they're doing it
Okay, mashallah. So
in
what I
my own
what I
circle.
want to know is like, yesterday, a student came from USA. She's also, I believe, from Lahore something, Islamabad. She's from Islamabad, and I don't know if she's sitting here watching this. What, right? So she called me and she said, I went to the States after completing my A level, O level, and A level, and my uncle paid my fee. So she was studying at University of Pennsylvania, and
Okay.
she
Okay.
और उसने यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ पेंसिल्वेनिया में उसने तकरीबन कितना अरसे पढ़ा. 1.5 साल पढ़ा. 1.5 साल में उसके अंकल, उसके मामू ने, हिज अंकल, सॉरी, हर अंकल, ही पेड अराउंड, आई वुड से, उसने जो मुझे बताया, 50,000 पर एनम के हिसाब से. तो 1.5 साल
Oh.
की फीस
Okay.
उन्होंने पे की. उनका बिजनेस, ही लॉस्ट हिज बिजनेस. नाउ ही कांट पे एनी मोर. सो शी केम टू अस asking for scholarship. I said, what do you mean? What do you need? She said, like, I'm asking money for my family, कि मेरे घर में कोई फैमिली में कोई जो है ना वो मेरे डिग्री के पैसे दे दे ताकि मैं डिग्री ख़त्म कर सकूं. It was very, we said no, we don't do that. और कह रही थी कि मुझे इसमें कोर्स में पढ़ने दें. मैंने उसको बोला, क्योंकि इसके मामू ने कहा कि मेरा बिजनेस नहीं है, मैं नहीं दे सकता पैसे. तो शी इज़ इन कनाडा. मैंने उसको बोला,
Okay.
घर जाओ वापस, गो बैक होम. ओके, दिस इज द बेस्ट थिंग फॉर यू.
Mhm.
वापस घर जाओ. घर जाकर पाकिस्तान में बैठकर पढ़ो, ये कोर्स पढ़ो. ठीक है ना. एंड देन वंस यू कंप्लीट इट, सिक्योर अ जॉब, देन कम टू यूएस फॉर डूइंग मास्टर्स. अभी हमारे स्टूडेंट है, one of the students, uh, he secured admission based on AI ops. He was an intermediate. You also did your intermediate by completing level 3, right?
Yeah.
So you got
Yeah.
that, then you got this. So within 2 years, you made a jump. You made a jump कि तुमने लेवल 3 खत्म किया और लेवल 6 खत्म कर लिया. The good thing is कि हम
Yes.
लेवल 6 में भी जो आता है हम उसको लेवल 3 का भी देते हैं सारा. So अगर उसको
Yes.
देना है वो दे सकता है, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the good thing is you did all of those things. और तुमने जंप कर ली तो तुमने इंटरमीडिएट के 2 साल और बैचलर्स के 4 साल, 6 साल,
Mm-hmm.
6 years you
Yes.
completed in how many years? 2 years.
2 years. Less than two.
Less than two, right? So around 2 years. So you
Yeah.
saved yourself 4 years of time. You can
Exactly.
go to US right now doing your master's program. वो जो लड़का है
Yeah, that's the thing.
उसने 4 जगह मास्टर्स के लिए अप्लाई किया, यूएस में 4 जगह एडफोलियो के जरिए किया. सो अप्लाई थ्रू एडफोलियो who's in our panel, right? So they can assist you. उसने यूएस के लिए अप्लाई किया, 4 जगह यूएस में हो गया. यूके में अप्लाई किया, 3 जगह यूके में हो गया. ही एंडेड अप डूइंग हिज मास्टर्स नाउ. ही इज गोइंग इन सितंबर. क्लासेस स्टार्ट हो रही हैं. इंटर पास. ही इज गोइंग टू साउथ बैंक यूनिवर्सिटी. मैंने शेयर किया था ना उसका नाम वगैरह सब फेसबुक के ऊपर, इफ यू वुड हैव सीन, राइट?
Yeah, yeah.
तो वो बच्चा जा रहा है वहाँ. वो कराची से है, तुम लाहौर से
Mm-hmm.
हो.
जी.
So he's going, mashallah, right? And he completed his QB astronaut exams. So he's almost a QB astronaut because he passed CKAD
Mm-hmm.
निकाल दिया, CKA, CKS. 3 मुश्किल निकाल दिए. जो शुरू के 2 आसान होते हैं, KCNA, KCSA, MCQ. लैब वाले निकाल लिए, MCQs वाले 1-1 घंटे के रह गए. आई थिंक वो
सही.
पास कर चुका होगा शायद अभी तक.
Okay.
सो इफ यू फॉलो द सेम जर्नी और तुमने QB एस्ट्रोनॉट तुम बन गए, तुम्हारे पास पैसे आ रहे हैं, जमा कर रहे हो, माशाल्लाह, ठीक है ना? डू दैट. और तुमने साथ साथ जो है ना ये सब पढ़ लिया, कर लिया, तुम याद कर चुके हो. बट डोंट स्टॉप योर लर्निंग जर्नी रोकनी नहीं है,
No, no.
है ना?
No, no.
देयर आर न्यू कोर्सेज कमिंग अप इन क्वांटम कंप्यूटिंग, नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी, ड्रोन्स एंड ऑटोनोमस सिस्टम्स. सो मेनी थिंग्स अभी आ रही हैं तुम्हारे पास. एंड कंप्लीट योर, बट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कंप्लीट योर अल रज़ाक विल प्रिपेयर यू फॉर 23 डोमेन्स. उसमें साइबर डोमेन है, AI ML का काम है, बहुत सारा काम है. इट्स अ टन ऑफ काम. इवन उसके अंदर बिग डेटा के ऊपर भी काम है, डेटा लेक के ऊपर सब
सर,
चीज़ें.
मेरा एक क्वेश्चन था अल रज़ाक के बारे में.
जी.
Like my main concern is कि अल रज़ाक की लैब्स ऐसे हैं कि I do a set and then they get checked and then I do the next one, right?
नो. सो अल रज़ाक की जो लैब्स हैं, जो नई क्लाउड पर हैं, यू लॉग ऑन टू द
Hmm.
क्लाउड, यू लुक एट द लैब, यू स्टार्ट डूइंग द लैब. देयर आर 4 काइंड्स ऑफ लैब्स. बिगिनर्स, व्हेन यू कंप्लीट द लैब, जब तुम लैब कर रहे होते हो, रियल टाइम पे AI उस सर्वर की लॉग्स पढ़ रहा होता है. सो इट इज
Yes.
मैचिंग what you're doing with the lab objective. The lab objective
Okay.
says you need to install basically Apache Iceberg. Did you do it or not? AI will verify through the system logs. Yes, he ran all the commands and he was able to install Apache Iceberg.
Iceberg.
Lab 2 objective is, so it is verifying what you are doing. That's how it
Right
verifies.
away. तो
Right
मुझे
away,
वेट नहीं करना
real time.
पड़ेगा.
This is real time, happening in real time.
ओके, तो मुझे किसी तरह वेट नहीं करना. आई कैन डू एट माई स्पीड.
Yeah, you can. You can do it through VNC. You can do it through SSH. SSH में लॉग इन करके
ओके.
जाओ, जल्दी होगा. सिस्टम का कनेक्शन ड्रॉप नहीं होगा. You're sitting there, you're doing it. तुम्हारे सामने
या.
टर्मिनल खुला हुआ है, बिकॉज इट्स ऑल इन लिनक्स, राइट? ठीक है ना? ज़्यादातर
राइट.
लिनक्स में 90% लैब्स लिनक्स में, 10% आगे जाके तुम्हें विंडोज में मिलेंगे. यू विल सी विंडोज लैब्स रनिंग ऑन विंडोज
ओके.
सर्वर्स, राइट? यस, देयर आर.
ओके.
बट वी आर गिविंग यू अ मशीन, a virtual machine. It's not a simulator, it's a machine. If you make a mistake, it will say you made a mistake. The AI will say, Albari will assist you, तुम्हें help करेगा. What I'm saying is कि data engineers are earning boatload of money. और अगर तुमने इसके ऊपर वो सारी चीजें की, you will be at a much higher level इंशाल्लाह. Okay?
इंशाल्लाह.
तो
ओके.
जिसे तुम फोन पे बात कर रहे हो सकता है वो मुसलमान हो जाए, बोले भाई जयान you're very nice. गोरी है ना जो भी, राइट? ठीक है ना?
नो, शी इज सिक.
शी सिक, हो सकता है मुसलमान हो जाए, बोले भाई ठीक है, सही है,
या.
ठीक है ना?
या.
ग्रेट. पंजाबी में बात कर रहे हो, पंजाबी भी सही है, सब कुछ है, जबरदस्त है, ठीक है. यानी हिट हिट विथ हर. जबरदस्त यार, ठीक है, सही है, ठीक है. बोलो भाई मैं स्मार्ट बच्चा हूँ, स्मार्ट हो, ठीक है ना? सही है. और बोलो भाई मैं भी लाहौर से हूँ, तुम भी पंजाबी हो, आई विल हेल्प यू. वो क्या है वहाँ पर,
या.
नेशनल है, कौन है?
शी इज अ नेशनल.
That's a possibility, right? बोलो भाई मैं तुम्हारे साथ बैठ के काम करता हूँ, समझाता हूँ, सब कुछ करता हूँ. That's one possibility. The other possibility is कि भाई बहुत सारे दूसरे काम भी होते हैं. ठीक है ना? Allah knows what is good for you. You can give her dawah by your good manners and your dedication to work. लाइन शान मारने की जरूरत नहीं है. बोलो इस तरह से हम काम करते हैं, मैं इस तरह से काम करके सब कुछ
जी
करके बताऊंगा कि वो देखे
सही
हाँ ये बंदा मुसलमान है, दिस ये और ये अच्छा आदमी है. ठीक है ना? सही है. तो दीज आर द थिंग्स. सो वो हो सकता है समझ जाए, हाँ बोले बहुत अच्छा है, चलो मैं भी मुसलमान. मैंने बहुत सारे सिखों को मुसलमान होते हुए देखा है. ठीक है ना?
राइट
दे डू दैट राइट बिकॉज फॉर वट एवर रीजन. बस तुम्हारी गिरा नहीं है, तुम्हारी दाढ़ी नहीं है. ठीक है ना? वो छोटी 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 सी. ठीक है ना? सही है. So these are all the things. So अगर तुमने वो किया and if you follow the pathway, you'll be able to get inshallah through all of those things and you'll be able to go and go deeper into all of those things. So you can do all of those things. ठीक है ना? अपनी labs complete करो, study and keep on studying. ठीक है ना? Keep on studying. Go
ओके
and pass the exams because that will give
राइट
you a much deeper insight into what you're trying to do. ठीक है?
राइट
Your scores are very good. If you want to go to US right now, you can go to US. If you want to go to UK right now, you can go to UK. तुम्हारा
सर मैं
एडमिशन
आपकी
करवा
गाइडेंस लूंगा
बड़े
लाइक
आराम से.
हाउ विल आई गो लाइक आई डोंट हैव द फाइनेंस टू पे सच फीस
So based on 92%, we can offer you bank statement.
ओह ओके
Just pay the fee,
ओके द मास्टर्स फी राइट
master's fee.
ओके तो अराउंड कितनी होती है रफली
जाके
लाइक
मालूम करो,
बट
पोर्टफोलियो से बात करो. दे विल टेल यू यूके में कितनी है, यूएसए में कितनी है. ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट.
okay so for the bank statement will I contact who will I contact like अगर आपके
So you have
records लेने
met the
मुझे
requirements. The requirements are you know. So the requirements are there. How are we? How do we sponsor? Go and read the requirements.
okay
One of the requirements is complete this and secure 92%, 90 above. You secured 92. This is done.
okay
Requirement number two, complete LinkedIn course, communication course. You did it. Alhamdulillah. This is done. Requirement number three, complete Al Razak. You're still doing it. Requirement number four, you have to basically teach on our side as well for a few months. While and but key requirement Al Razak ये सब चीजें हैं. जब तुमने वो कर लिया, बोलो मैं रेडी हूँ, सब कुछ है, पैसे भी जमा हो गए, so we will sponsor. That's something we do.
right
ठीक है ना?
right
You can
and
go inshallah.
I have a nice LinkedIn also मेरे पास around 6,000 followers हैं and you see these lights मैंने I have just starting content creation also so on LinkedIn
That's okay. That's good.
yeah.
वो तो हमाद सिद्दीकी साहब का कोर्स देख रहे होगे. ठीक है ना?
जी जी
हमाद सिद्दीकी साहब ने बहुत मेहनत की है. That's very good, mashallah. So what I'm saying is कि this is what you have to do. So build up your portfolio, build up your GitHub, build up all of those things, and that will take you very far. But your specialization should be in AI ops. Harness all those domains. You
yes
will know and learn a lot from those domains.
I'm building custom AI tools I have built 3 for now and they are on my GitHub
So that's what I'm saying. Na? Like, start doing all of those things. You
yes
may get full scholarship, with paid
right
and everything, from these top universities. वो देते हैं. Because your marks
okay.
तुम्हारे वो आ गए हैं अच्छे वाले. You can say, I secured 92%. Give me something
right
good, right?
awesome
This is part two of the exam. Part one, I don't know. तो वो जब set करेंगे, still you will be still at 92 because तुमने part one में जो भी marks किए हैं. So I'm just suggesting you is your future is good, mashallah. You're 20 years old. I was looking at your data.
yeah yeah
You're young, mashallah. I mean, you have the world to explore. So focus on getting those things done. You can also go from here to Saudi Arabia, and within 6 months, you will have enough money for your bank statement and for paying over there. एक साल काम
right
किया सऊदीया में, यूएई में काम किया, पैसे जमा हो गए, बोले यार अब मैं यहाँ से अमेरिका जा रहा हूँ, यूके जा रहा हूँ, जर्मनी जा रहा हूँ, जहाँ जाना यू कैन गो. द वर्ल्ड इज योर प्ले ग्राउंड. ओके.
okay
कीप ऑन फॉलोइंग इस्लाम. इस्लाम को मजबूत रखो, थाम के रखो. अल्लाह विल गिव यू मोर सक्सेस, बट डू नॉट स्टॉप लर्निंग.
no
मार्केट रीडिफाइंड हो रही है, चेंजेस आ रही हैं, ठीक है ना. सो कीप ऑन स्टडिंग. देयर आर सो मेनी सब्जेक्ट्स यू कैन स्टडी. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल यू कैन स्टडी AI ML, यू कैन स्टडी. इसको तुम डीपर कर सकते हो, क्योंकि ऑलरेडी तुम्हें अल रज़ाक में ये तीन चीज़ें तो मिल ही रही हैं. इन अल रज़ाक यू आर ऑलरेडी गेटिंग दीज थिंग्स, राइट. AI ML की तुम्हें लैब सारी, AI मॉडल बिल्डिंग, ऑटोमेशन पाइपलाइंस, मॉडल एक्सप्लेनेबिलिटी, यू आर ऑलरेडी गेटिंग दीज थिंग्स, ठीक है.
Yes.
साइबर सिक्योरिटी की आपस में तुम्हें लैब्स मिलनी है, रेड टीम, ब्लू टीम, सेम EDR, सब यू आर गेटिंग ऑल ऑफ दोस थिंग्स. And cloud and big data, this is what you did today. Labs for Hadoop, Spark, Kubernetes, AI orchestration, those labs are there. As you move
Okay.
forward, you will see them. Okay, na?
Okay.
So tons of labs. The further specialization you can do once you get more stronger: semiconductor chip design, quantum computing, space technology, bioengineering, energy systems, high frequency finance. That's up to you. 5G, 6G, robotics and automation, blockchain, synthetic media, BCI, brain computer interface, nanotechnology, drones, supply chain, desalination. It doesn't stop, right? So ये
Yeah.
सब चीज़ें आपके
Yeah.
पास है. So pick up your expertise and where do you want to go, and explore that deeper. This is my recommendation for you. Okay.
Right.
Jazakallah khair for your time.
Okay.
It was awesome interviewing you. Very good
Okay.
topic. If you focus on all of these things, you will be much more successful. I I pray to Allah that our students, wherever they are, whoever they are, Muslims, non-Muslims, we have so many studying. Uh, they go for the best. They secure the best, inshallah, and they are able to succeed. And may Allah give the light of Islam to all of us and guide us to the Sirat al-Mustaqim. Okay? Inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Do you have any questions for me?
No, just one thing, last thing. मुझे अच्छा लगेगा अगर मैं आपसे like 10 minutes a week only मैं आपसे किसी तरह से contact कर सकूं just for guidance. I won't take more than 10 minutes.
If you want to come when I'm live, that's the time when you should sit down, ask me, I will guide you, so that that becomes guidance for everyone else. ठीक है?
Okay.
It's very, हाँ, it's, I mean, मैं तुम्हें कोई पर्सनल बात बतानी है तो लिख के दे दो, मैं उसको वो जिक्र नहीं करूंगा, बट आई विल अवॉइड दैट एंड आई विल स्टिल गिव यू द गाइडेंस. बट द पॉइंट इज के मैं फोन पे इस तरह किसी से बात नहीं कर सकता, क्योंकि
Okay.
50,000 से ऊपर मैसेजेस हो गए व्हाट्सएप पे, राइट.
Yeah. Okay. No
तो
issue.
अब ना अरबी में भी मैसेजेस आ रहे हैं, सो इट्स अ बिग प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है. सो सो वी कांट डू दैट, बट इंशाल्लाह वी विल ट्राई आवर लेवल बेस्ट. मैं तुम्हें मशवरा दे दूंगा. आई एम अवेलेबल व्हेन यू कम लाइव.
Okay.
You already have one slot to talk to me and say, Faisal bhai, you're live, I'm here, please come, bring me forward first. I will say yes, because you secured 92%. I'll say yes, isko pehle le aao. You secured,
Okay.
so you are at that level, so you can, मैं बोल सकता हूँ हाँ ठीक है. There is no पर्ची here, there is only merit. वही merit है, इसको पहले ले आओ यार, so इसको पहले ले आओ.
जी वो तो.
ये
Okay.
there is no पर्ची के यार. जनरल साहब ने भेजा है, तो जिसने जनरल साहब ने, DSP साहब ने भेजा, DSP साहब का बेटा आया मुझसे मिलने के लिए. मैंने उसको बिठाओ नीचे,
अच्छा.
तो मैंने 3 घंटे वेट कराया.
अच्छा.
वो सब आके बोले DSP साहब का बेटा, DSP साहब का बेटा. मैंने कहा और बिठाओ, तुम जितनी दफा आओगे बेटर रहेगा. ठीक है ना. फिर मैंने जब उससे बात की, तो बेचारे की हालत खराब थी बहुत. कह रहे मैं 3 घंटे से बैठा हूँ. मैंने कहा तुम सबको आगे बोल रहे थे मैं DSP का बेटा हूँ, तुमने क्यों बोला DSP? कौन हो तुम? DSP के बेटा तो जाओ फिर अपने बाप से बोलो, तुम्हें मशवरा दे. ये गलत है ना, दिस इज रॉन्ग. उसने तीन
पाकिस्तान में बहुत
दफा
है.
बंदे भेजे. हर बार मैं उठ के लिए जाने वाला होता था, बोला बैठ जाओ. मैंने कहा मैं नहीं जा रहा, छोड़ दो उसको, बिठा उसको और बिठा. ठीक है ना. तो दैट्स द थिंग.
Right.
सो पर्ची और सिफारिश नहीं चलती, मेरिट. ठीक है ना. मेरिट इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. अल्लाह डील्स बेस्ड ऑन अवर तकवा. किसी
Yeah.
को अजम अजम को अरब, किसी पे कोई फौकियत हासिल नहीं है. अल्लाह के नज़दीक वो है बड़ा है जिसका तकवा ज़्यादा. राइट. तकवा कोई भी कर ले, बदू के पास हो जाएगा, वो बहुत ऊपर चला जाएगा. ठीक है ना. सही है. तो दैट्स द थिंग. So anyway, Jazakallah khair. If your parents are alive,
Yeah.
ask
Alhamdulillah.
them to make dua for me. Jazakallah khair. It was nice talking to you. This is my special dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka shahadatan fil masjid an-nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Make dua for me specifically for my family and members. I'm really happy. मुझे बहुत खुशी होती है जब मेरे स्टूडेंट्स जॉब भी कर रहे हैं, काम भी कर रहे हैं, यंग एज में आगे जा रहे हैं, सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. I'm really happy and really pleased with them. Okay? Inshallah.
Yeah.
May Allah give you more success. If you need anything, let me know. Do you have my number?
Yeah. You have saved my number. We talked on a call.
ओके, मैं देखता हूँ कहाँ पर है, उसको अंदर में डाल देता हूँ पोजीशन होल्डर। ठीक है ना, तो फिर मैं देखूंगा उसको।
Right.
Zayan, Zayan। ओके, यस आई कैन सी यू।
Yes.
ओके, मैं इसमें डाल देता हूँ पोजीशन होल्डर। चलो भाई, ठीक है ना।
सही।
सही है भाई, इंशाल्लाह। चलो, जज़ाकल्लाह खैर। सुब्हानक अल्लाहुम्मा बिहम्दिका अशहदु अल्ला इलाहा इल्ला अंता अस्तगफिरुका व अतूबु इलैक। अस्सलामु अलैकुम